I'm going to start your reading right now for lovely Libras. So, the first card you have for your past is the Ace of Wands. Yeah, I'm seeing a bit of relief in this card. You know, I think you had some really big thing that you were doing, some really big thing you were working on. You had to put a lot of things on hold to do this. And, you know, it was like this big burden, this big obligation. I think you might have been helping a person maybe, but it was this great, big, huge thing. You couldn't get out of this. You had to really do this. You were obliged to do whatever this was. And then when you finally finished this, it was like this huge relief and you could just throw it off yourself and get on with the rest of your life. I think there might have been a bit of resting time as well, some downtime, and you really deserved that after being through this big thing. Because I think, you know, I think you're very, very generous, and I think this was about you helping someone actually. But I think that it went further into, you know, it went a bit further from just helping someone. It was like you wanted to help someone, and then it turned into this big, big, huge monster, and then you just kind of was like, oh, now it's this big obligation. But you got through this, you did this thing. And yeah, then you're able to kind of, you know, just spend some time seeing people you weren't able to see before. I think you just didn't have time to do a lot of these things. And then I think after that, what happened was you just wanted to plan some things that you've been putting off, things you wanted to do. I'm actually seeing something physical, something practical. It might have been something to do with building or repairing or renovations. It's something about constructing or building something or making something. And I think that's what you kind of had on your mind to do. So I think then you're planning all of that. So the other thing I'm seeing in this card is I'm seeing love. I'm seeing passion. Obviously, this is the passion card. I'm actually seeing two people in this card. It's a bit strange. I'm not seeing a third party. I'm seeing someone that you used to... Yeah, I'm seeing someone that... There's one person who you do love, I think, who's around you now. And I think you might be in a relationship with them or something. This is a love connection. And this is a very, very strong love connection. I'm seeing that. Now, there's another person, and I think this is someone who you either used to love, you had a romantic connection with this other person, or it was someone who you were really, really close friends with. It was like you loved them as a friend. So it was one or the other. I can't quite see what this is. Maybe this is confusing to me because maybe you went from friends to, you know, relationship and then back to friends, or it might be, you know, it might be a friendship that was on the verge of a relationship. I don't know, but there's some confusion around that. But anyway, there's this other person, and I think at one time you had a falling out with this person, or you kind of got away from this person. And I think when you had this falling out with them, obviously you had a very negative opinion of them. You didn't like them, whatever happened. And, you know, and then so, yeah, you stopped seeing this person at one time, I think. And I think now at this time, they're around you again for some reason. Now, I think either you had to be around them, might have been a work situation, it might not have been, but it was something, some reason why you had to be around them again. And I think it wasn't so bad this time. I think you came around this person, you saw them again, and you saw them in a more positive way. You started to see them in a more positive way. You'd had a distance from them, you'd been through all that negativity, and you saw them again in a new light, and you're kind of quite positive around them. Now, that doesn't mean that you suddenly loved them or anything like that, or you thought they were amazing, but you're able to see them in this new way. That's what I'm seeing. So if this is all resonating, I think there is some kind of link between you, and that's why you had to see them, or you saw them again. Because I think if you didn't want to see someone again, you wouldn't see them ever again, but you had to see this person again, or you saw this person again for some reason. And yeah, there is this link between you. I'm not sure what it is. Now, you don't love them in that kind of romantic way. And I actually think there is someone else you're with. I was seeing that. And I'm seeing that again here. So, yeah, there's some tie between you, but I think you were uncomfortable around them, and now you came to be more comfortable around this person. So this is in the past, so it may or may not have happened yet, that you're seeing this person and you're more comfortable with them. If it hasn't happened yet, you'll probably see them soon. That's what I'm seeing. Now, if you're stressed, if you're hearing this and you're like, oh no, that horrible person, I kind of distance myself from and I don't want to see them ever again. Don't worry about this. If this is resonating with you, if you know who this is, I'm getting a really relaxed, positive feeling around this. So it's not going to feel bad to you. It's going to feel good to you. So I don't want you to worry about this. It's a very strange, I hope this resonates, because then I hope you understand what I'm talking about, because it's quite odd. So the next card you have your past is the Lovers. So yeah, this might be an ex, or it might be a friend. It could also be a mixture of the two in some way. It might have been an on-off relationship or something. So again, don't worry about this. You're not going, if you were lovers, you're not going to be lovers again. It's not going to be that kind of a relationship. I'm seeing that all over the place. It's very, very clear. Yeah, these feelings that you had some really unhappy feelings about them, and then they started softening. And so I think from now on, when you do see them, and I think you are going to be seeing them again, you're going to be so much more relaxed with them. I think you're still going to have to see them. I'm not sure why that is. You have some tie to them. Maybe it's that they're an ex and you have children with them. That might be what it is. It could be something else. It might not be that, because I can't see very clearly why that is, but there's some tie to them. But yeah, this is really calm. This is the calm after the storm, and it's really, really beautiful. It's very positive. So you don't have anything to worry about around this. It's fine. So the last card you have your past is the Four of Cups. I'm seeing a few things in this card. I think there might have been someone who you had to be a little bit careful around. And I think what happened was, because I'm seeing in the Ace of Wands that you got over this great big burden, and then you're all like, oh, phew, I'm over this burden. Now I can get on with my life. I'm all happy. I'm singing. I'm walking around and everything's fine. Everything's great. And I think that's what happened. But then you got around this person in the Four of Cups, and they were like, well, I'm feeling the opposite. I'm quite moody. I'm feeling grumpy. Why are you like this? So I think what happened was, maybe they were in the workplace. I don't know. But you had to be quite careful around this particular person. I think they were going through quite a few things. I don't think they were very open about what they were going through. There was a lot of tension around this person, and they weren't being themselves. And, if you're wondering about whether they're okay, what the matter is, I think they will be okay. I don't think there's a great big huge drama or anything like that. You might still have to tiptoe around them for a while. I don't think they're going to tell you what it is, but they are going to get through this, I think. And yeah, I'm seeing something else in this as well. I think there's a sort of money block, a block around money that I'm seeing. I think, if you had cash flow problems at this time, I don't know if this is going to make sense to you, but I'll just tell you what I'm seeing. You need to make a decision about money or a job or something financial. And I think there's a decision that you've either been putting off, or you've been going backwards and forwards, not knowing what to do around this. I think this is a message to tell you to make a decision about this. I think you might just have to go with your instincts on this if this is resonating with you, because I think you might be over-analysing this. I'm not saying you need to make a snap decision or not think about this, but just, I think you are thinking about this a little bit too much. I'm seeing a lot of over-analysing. So I think you might just have to maybe go with your gut feeling around this, or just try to come to a conclusion. But I think there might be a deadline, and I think something has to be done before the end of this. You can't keep on worrying about this. That's what I'm seeing around that. So, yeah, the first card you have your present is the Six of Cups. Yeah, so this can be about nostalgia, innocence, all of that kind of thing, looking back to old times. a lot of innocence, beautiful happiness, parents, children, all of that. I think this might be about this friendship that you're probably developing with this person who might be an ex-friend. Yeah, this is very innocent. This is very beautiful. This is very relaxed. So you're growing into this new kind of friendship, and you have to see them for some reason. You have a tie to them. I keep on seeing that. But it's growing into something a lot more softer, a lot more comfortable with you. Now, I'm also seeing here that if you are in a relationship with someone else, which I'm seeing that you are, I'm seeing you probably are, that's what I'm seeing in the Ace of Wands, I think you might have to be very careful, because if you're seeing this person, if you're in a relationship with them and they're seeing you with this other person, they might be thinking, wait a minute, what's up? Are they seeing them? Are they having an affair with them? Are they seeing someone behind my back? Who is this person? So I think what you're going to have to do, they're an understanding person, but I think you're going to have to be very upfront with who this person is, if this is all resonating with you. So if you are seeing one person in a relationship and you're friends with someone, especially if this is an ex, you really need to explain to them, there's nothing going on, they're an ex, you can see what's happening, if you want to see my phone or whatever you need to do, because I think you might have to be very upfront. I'm seeing a need for being very upfront with them, because this is innocent. This is innocent. The Six of Cups is about innocence and going back to old times. So this is someone you're either a friend with or you were an ex. Again, it's telling me that again. So you're going to have to explain this to this new person. You're going to have to be open about what's happening, why you have to have this tie, why you have to see them, if this is resonating with you. And yeah, so just be open, because this is innocent. And I think they'll come to realize that if you are opened, if you're closed and you don't talk to them, they're not going to see that. They're going to say, why are they not talking about this? Why are they closed? So be very, very, very open with this person. So the next card you have your present is the Four of Swords. Right, so, okay, I'm seeing something a bit different. So, okay, I'll just tell you what I'm seeing. I think you might be worrying about something. I think this is a message that someone needs to hear, and it's probably going to be quite specific. So, yeah, this is a message to someone, and I think I'm seeing worrying about this. I'm seeing you worrying, whoever this resonates with, worrying about someone who left, someone who might actually be missing, or someone who you don't know where they are. You haven't heard from this person for a while. I think you go through some times where you really worry about them, and then there are some times where you're okay. But then I think there are some times where you just really worry. You can't stop thinking about them. You're worrying about where they are. Are they okay? And yeah, there's so much worry about this with these swords hanging over this man's head. And this is a message to tell you this person's safe, if this means anything to you. I'm seeing that, yeah, they're safe. I can't tell you if you'll see them again. I am getting a feeling that they might not want to be seen. They might want to be by themselves, like the man on this card who's totally by himself. That's how they're feeling. Now, don't take this personally, the fact that they want to be by themselves and they don't want to tell anyone how they're feeling or what's happening. This isn't anything, it's not about a particular person, it's not something to take personally. They're not upset with anyone. This is just how they feel. It has nothing to do with anyone else. And they had a lot of problems and they wanted to keep them to themselves, and they still want to keep them to themselves. That's what I'm seeing. And they want to keep themselves to themselves. So yeah, I don't want to upset anyone. That's what I'm seeing. And yeah, if this resonates, I think you'll understand what this is about. The big message out of this is that this person is safe. That's what I want to say about that. So yeah, the last card you have your present is the King of Wands. So yeah, I think this person who you're in a relationship with, if this is all resonating with you, this person who you have to be a bit sensitive around, this person really loves you. This person really loves you. I keep on seeing that. I saw the same kind of message in your last reading, I think. I think they might have traveled to be with you, or they might come from another country originally. I am seeing travel around this, so they either traveled to be with you, or they traveled and then they met you after that. You know, it's like they were supposed to be in that place at that time to meet with you, to see you, to be with you. And this is a very, very special connection. And I think that's why I keep on seeing the need for you to nurture this connection and protect this connection and protect this person and protect their feelings. I think they do have some trust issues, even without this situation with this friend or this ex or whoever this is. So with that added on to their trust issues, that's why they're probably feeling very insecure about this. And anyone would. If you were really good friends with an ex, or you were really good friends with someone who, you know, you're with all the time and you have this tie to them, anyone would feel a bit insecure, but this person might feel extra insecure because of a lot of things they've been through. I think they might have been around someone who played around before you. Yeah, I'm seeing yelling. Yeah, this is terrible. I'm seeing yelling as well. So there might have been a lot of noise around them. So if this is all resonating, this is a very, very special person. This is a very special connection. Protect this connection. Protect this person. Take care of this person. That's the message I keep on getting. So the first card you have for your future is the Page of Swords. So yeah, I keep on seeing this love connection again. Yeah, they might have even had to escape someone in the past. I keep on getting this feeling of having to, you know, sort of be on guard all the time, like this Page is, you know, ready to strike and having to be ready for what's coming. And also wanting freedom, wanting to get out of the situation that they were in. You know, there's a flock of birds above this Page's head, so it's like thinking about freedom, thinking about escape. And that's what they want to do. They wanted to escape, they wanted to leave, and maybe that's why I was seeing travelling as well. But yeah, I keep on seeing this need for you to keep on reassuring them, or, you know, keep on protecting them, keep on saying to them that you care about them, showing them that, proving that to them. I think there's a need for you to make them feel cared for, all of that kind of thing. It's like reassurance is something that they need. It's not an optional extra. It's not something they want. This is something they need. So yeah, I'm repeating myself. So the next card you have for your future is the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so I think this might be about this financial decision that you have to make. Obviously this is Pentacles, so yeah, I can understand that you want to look at all sides of this, because, you know, financial decisions are important. But yeah, again, I think you can go a bit too far with analysing things sometimes. So just be a bit mindful of that, be a bit careful of that. You know, of course, you need to look at all the facts, you need to weigh everything up, but, you know, a decision has to be made. I keep on seeing there might be some kind of deadline, so you're going to have to make this decision. And yeah, decisions. Look, this is how I'm seeing decisions. If you look at this card, there are two trees behind this woman on the horizon. Now, to me, they're about, you know, one's the tree of life and the other's the tree of knowledge. So this is the decision in the Garden of Eden that Eve had to make. So that's where I'm seeing decisions in that. And yeah, and obviously this is a money card. So, and you know, look at how comfortable this woman is. So this is the message behind this card. Once you've made this decision, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable, a lot better. You're going to be able to relax a lot more. So stop over-analysing. That's what I'm seeing in that card. I know I sound bossy, I'm sorry. Yeah, so the last card you have in your future, so for your future, is the Hermit. Okay, so again, I'm seeing this is about this money decision. I'm looking at these two cards together, actually, you know, this one and the Nine of Pentacles. So, okay, I'll try and explain this to you. This might be why you're struggling with this decision. I think the way you are now, the way you see things now, the way you approach things now is probably very, very different from the way you approached things and you saw things when you were brought up, when you were younger, when you were growing up in your old home. And what happened was, I think you evolved from this old way of thinking into your own way of thinking, a new way of thinking. But you might still have some of these old ideas in your head, or some of these old thought processes still inside your head. Sometimes these can be subconscious. Sometimes you don't realize you've got them there. So, and this is something around money. So, you know, I think this might be what's holding you back, this kind of subconscious thought that comes from your childhood around money. And I think that might be what's stopping you from making this decision. And, you know, if you look at the woman again in this Nine of Pentacles, she's far away from her home. So it's like you moved forward from your home, from your childhood, and you think in a different way. So, and obviously the Hermit again, the Hermit is a very deep thinker, so you're thinking deeply about the decision. But I think instead of thinking about the decision and weighing it up, maybe you better think about, or maybe you should think about your old childhood thoughts about money, or the things that you grew up believing around money. Because I think one of these things is what's holding you back from making that decision. It's like these old ways of thinking might still be on your mind or somewhere like that. So, you know, I just think you could make this decision quite easily, actually. And I think it's these feelings that are kind of behind this thing that's on your mind that's kind of in the way of making this decision. I hope that makes sense. I know that sounds a bit crazy. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So I think try and explore the feeling behind what's stopping you. Try and explore, you know, all of these things that you were brought up with. Try and explore all of that, and that might give you the key to why you're taking so long on this decision. But also there's a deadline. So apart from all that, I know you have to explore all that, but also there's a deadline. So you've got to make this decision. You really have to. That's what I'm seeing.